Completing the square 3. To complete the square means to write a quadratic expression in the form given here, where a, b, and c are numbers. For example, all of these expressions below are written in completed square form. To understand how to complete the square, you first need to understand how to square a bracket. Remember that squaring a bracket just means multiplying it by itself. So if we had x plus b here inside the bracket, and that whole bracket was squared, we could multiply that like this. So I've got x plus b times x plus b. And if I expand that, I get x squared plus bx plus another bx plus b squared. So that's where this 2bx term comes from. I've got two lots of plus bx from the expansion. Now, the first step in these problems when you're completing the square is to take a quadratic and look at the x squared term and the x term and put that into a completed square form first, and then deal with the number later. So to do that, this is all you need to know. And if I want to have x squared plus bx by itself, I can just take off the b squared from both sides. So I end up with x squared plus 2bx equals x plus b all squared minus b squared. So now we'll look at some examples of how to use this. Here, we want to write the following expression in completed square form. And the expression is 6x squared plus 12x minus 17. So we'll start by looking at 6x squared plus 12x. Now first I'm going to factorize out the 6, because when I'm completing the square, inside my bracket I want x plus or minus a number. So I want the coefficient of x squared to be 1. Now I can do that by factorizing out whatever the coefficient of x squared is. In this case, that's a 6. So I'm rewriting this first part as 6 brackets x squared plus 2x. And I still have my minus 17 at the end. Now I'm going to complete the square on this expression here, so the x squared plus 2x. Now I'm going to do this inside a big pair of square brackets just to keep all my working nice and clear, because there'll be other brackets in the expression. So I've got 6 outside the square brackets. Inside, I'm just going to complete the square on x squared plus 2x. So that will give me x plus 1 in a bracket, all squared, minus 1. And then on the outside, I still have my minus 17. Now I can expand to simplify this expression. So I've got 6 brackets x plus 1 all squared, minus 6, and then minus 17. Final step is just to tidy up this minus 6 and the minus 17. So I have 6 brackets x plus 1, close brackets, squared, minus 23. That is my final answer. Now let's try another one. So we're completing the square on 5x squared minus 20x plus 6. So following the same steps, I'm going to start by looking at 5x squared minus 20x, and I'm going to factorize out the 5. So I have 5 brackets x squared minus 4x, close brackets, and then plus 6. Now I'm going to use my square brackets, and inside that I'm going to complete the square on x squared minus 4x. So I have x minus 2 squared minus 4. Then I can expand, so I get 5 times x minus 2 squared. Then I have minus 20 here, and then plus 6 at the end. And finally, by collecting like terms, I get 5 times x minus 2 all squared minus 14. Now on the right is one more example for you to try. So pause the video now, have a go yourself, and then press play when you're ready to check your answer. Now let's see how you did. So the first step was to factorize out the 4, and you get 4 brackets x squared minus 4x, and then minus 30 outside the bracket. When you complete the square, inside your square bracket you should get x minus 2 all squared minus 4. When you've expanded, this is your next step. So you've got 4 brackets x minus 2 all squared minus 16 minus 30. And then the final answer should be 4 brackets x minus 2 all squared minus 46.